Have you ever felt like you see the world differently from most people? Do you crave deep connections but struggle with shallow interactions? If so, you might be an INFJ, the rarest personality type in the world. INFJs are intuitive, thoughtful, and deeply emotional individuals who process life on a much deeper level than most. While they may seem calm on the outside, their inner world is complex and full of strong emotions, dreams, and ideas. But being an INFJ isn't always easy. There are certain things that this personality type absolutely detests. Things that can drain their energy, frustrate them, or even make them feel isolated. If you're an INFJ, you'll probably relate to these struggles. And if you have an INFJ in your life, this video will help you understand them better. In this video, we will explore 6 things INFJs hate the most. From meaningless conversations to harsh criticism, we will break down exactly why these things bother them and how they affect their daily lives. By the end, you'll have a better understanding of the INFJ mind, and maybe even some ideas on how to support the INFJs around you. Let's get started. Superficial conversations. INFJs thrive on deep and meaningful conversations. They enjoy discussing life's big questions, personal growth, emotions, and philosophical topics. Small talk, however, feels exhausting and unnecessary to them. Talking about the weather, gossip, or other surface-level subjects can make them feel disconnected and even frustrated. For INFJs, communication is about connection. They don't just talk for the sake of talking. They want to learn about people on a deeper level. They want to understand what motivates others, what their dreams are, and what makes them who they are. But in everyday life, they often find themselves stuck in conversations that feel empty. This is especially difficult in social settings where small talk is expected. For example, at parties or networking events, INFJs may feel drained because they have to engage in casual conversations that don't interest them. While others may enjoy light-hearted chatter, INFJs quickly lose energy if there is no deeper meaning in the discussion. Because they dislike superficial conversations, INFJs may seem quiet or even distant in certain social situations. It's not that they don't want to talk, it's just that they prefer meaningful discussions. They would rather have one deep conversation with someone they connect with than a dozen shallow conversations with strangers. To those who don't understand INFJs, this can make them seem antisocial or uninterested. But in reality, INFJs just crave real, authentic interactions. If someone takes the time to ask them about their thoughts, feelings, or passions, they will open up and engage with enthusiasm. For those who want to connect with an INFJ, the best way is to skip the small talk and go straight to something meaningful. Ask them about their dreams, their favorite books, or what inspires them. Once you do, you'll find that INFJs are some of the most interesting and thoughtful conversationalists you'll ever meet. Harsh criticism. INFJs are highly sensitive individuals who take criticism deeply to heart. While they appreciate constructive feedback that helps them grow, they struggle with harsh or unkind criticism. Their inner world is already filled with self-reflection, and when someone criticizes them in a blunt or aggressive way, it can feel overwhelming. Unlike some personality types that can brush off criticism, INFJs tend to internalize it. If someone tells them they are not good enough or that they failed at something, they might replay those words in their minds for days or even weeks. They analyze every detail, wondering if they should have done something differently or if they disappointed someone. This sensitivity to criticism is not because INFJs are weak, it's because they care deeply. They put their heart into everything they do, whether it's their work, relationships, recherches, or creative projects. So when someone criticizes them in a negative way, it feels personal, even if that wasn't the intention. One of the hardest things for an INFJ is receiving criticism from someone they respect. If a close friend, a mentor, or a loved one criticizes them without kindness, it can shake their confidence. They may start doubting themselves or feeling like they are not good enough, even if they have done their best. On the other hand, INFJs handle constructive criticism well when it is given with care. If someone offers feedback in a way that is understanding and encouraging, INFJs will listen and make changes. They genuinely want to improve and grow, but they need to feel that the person giving feedback values and respects them. For those who interact with INFJs, The key is to approach criticism with empathy. Instead of being blunt or overly harsh, it helps to use kind words and focus on solutions. A simple change in tone can make a huge difference in how an INFJ receives the message. At the end of the day, INFJs want to do their best and make a positive impact. When they feel supported rather than attacked, they thrive. Insensitivity and lack of empathy, INFJs, are deeply empathetic people. They can sense the emotions of others and often feel them as if they were their own. Because of this, they naturally show kindness and understanding toward those around them. However, when they encounter people who are insensitive or lack empathy, it deeply bothers them. For an INFJ, seeing someone dismiss another person's feelings or act cruelly is painful. They struggle to understand how some people can be so indifferent to the emotions of others. Whether it's a friend ignoring someone's pain, a boss being unnecessarily harsh, or a stranger being rude, these moments leave INFJs feeling frustrated and even heartbroken. This dislike for insensitivity goes beyond just witnessing it. If someone treats the INFJ themselves with coldness or indifference, it can be extremely hurtful. INFJs want to feel understood and valued. When someone dismisses their emotions or makes them feel like they are too sensitive, it can be crushing. They may start to withdraw, feeling that they cannot be themselves around that person. One of the biggest challenges for INFJs is dealing with people who lack emotional awareness. While INFJs try to see the best in everyone, they sometimes encounter people who simply do not care about how their actions affect others. This can be in personal relationships, at work, or even in social situations. Over time, dealing with these types of people can become exhausting. Because INFJs care so deeply, they often try to help or fix insensitive people by showing them kindness. However, this doesn't always work. And when INFJs realize that someone will not change, they may decide to distance themselves. They understand that their emotional energy is valuable and should be spent on people who appreciate and respect them. If you want to build a strong connection with an INFJ, showing empathy and kindness is key. Even small gestures, like listening when they talk about their feelings or showing concern for others, mean a lot to them. When INFJs feel that they are in an environment where people genuinely care about emotions, they feel safe, happy, and truly at home. Unexpected phone calls. INFJs are not fans of unexpected phone calls. While this might seem like a small issue to some, it can actually be a big source of stress for them. Unlike extroverted personality types who enjoy spontaneous interactions, INFJs prefer to mentally prepare for conversations. A sudden phone call can feel intrusive and overwhelming. For an INFJ, communication is meaningful, and they want to give their full attention to a conversation. When a phone call comes out of nowhere, they don't always have the emotional energy to engage properly. They might be in the middle of deep thinking, working on something important, or simply unwinding after a long day. When the phone rings unexpectedly, it can feel like an interruption rather than a welcome connection. INFJs also struggle with phone calls because they often feel pressured to respond immediately. Unlike text messages or emails, which allow time to think and craft a response, phone calls require instant answers. Since INFJs like to process their thoughts before speaking, being put on the spot can be stressful for them. Another reason INFJs dislike unexpected calls is that they value meaningful communication. Many phone calls, especially casual ones, involve small talk, something INFJs already dislike. If a call lacks purpose or depth, they may find it draining rather than enjoyable. This does not mean that INFJs hate talking to people. In fact, they love deep, meaningful conversations with those they care about. However, they prefer scheduled or planned calls, where they have time to prepare and be in the right mindset. When a conversation is expected, they can be fully present and engaged, rather than feeling caught off guard. If you have an INFJ in your life and want to talk to them, the best approach is to send a message first. A simple text like, "Hey, do you have time for a quick call?" gives them the opportunity to mentally prepare. They will appreciate the consideration and will likely respond more positively. By understanding this about INFJs, you can communicate with them in a way that makes them feel comfortable and respected. They may not always love phone calls, but when approached in the right way, they can be wonderful conversationalists who truly care about the people they talk to. Being misunderstood, one of the most frustrating experiences for an INFJ, is feeling misunderstood. As a rare personality type with a complex inner world, INFJs often struggle to express their deepest thoughts and emotions in a way that others fully understand. This can lead to feelings of isolation, even when they are surrounded by people. INFJs see the world in a unique way. They think deeply about life, emotions, and human nature, often making connections that others don't immediately see. When they try to explain these ideas, they might be met with confusion or even dismissal. It's not that INFJs are bad at communication, it's just that their way of thinking is different from most people. In relationships, this can be particularly challenging. INFJs love deeply and care intensely about the people in their lives. However, their way of showing love may not always be obvious to others. They express their feelings through meaningful actions, deep conversations, and emotional support, rather than constant words or grand gestures. If their efforts go unnoticed or unappreciated, they may feel unseen and misunderstood. Another reason INFJs often feel misunderstood is their ability to see multiple perspectives. They can understand different sides of an argument and empathize with people who have opposing views. While this is a strength, it can also make them seem inconsistent or hard to read. People might mistake their open-mindedness for indecision when, in reality, they are just considering all possibilities. When INFJs feel like no one truly understands them, they may withdraw. They might stop sharing their thoughts and emotions, choosing instead to keep their inner world private. This can lead to loneliness and a sense of being disconnected from others. For those who want to support an INFJ, the best thing to do is listen with an open mind. Instead of making quick judgments, take the time to understand their perspective. Ask thoughtful questions, show genuine interest, and let them know that their thoughts and feelings are valid. When an INFJ feels understood, they open up in the most beautiful ways. They become deeply loyal friends, compassionate partners, and insightful thinkers who can offer unique perspectives on life. All they really want is to be seen for who they truly are. Conflict and disharmony, INFJs are natural peacemakers. They value harmony in their relationships and surroundings, so conflict can feel extremely stressful for them. While some people thrive in debates or confrontational situations, INFJs often do everything they can to avoid conflict. When tension arises, they may feel overwhelmed, anxious, or emotionally drained. One reason INFJs dislike conflict is that they are highly empathetic. They can sense the emotions of others, even when those emotions are not spoken aloud. When they are in a room full of tension or anger, they absorb those feelings, making the situation even more exhausting for them. They don't just hear the words being said, they feel the emotional weight behind them. Because of this, INFJs often try to act as mediators in conflicts. If two people are arguing, an INFJ may step in to try and help both sides understand each other. They are skilled at seeing multiple perspectives and finding solutions that satisfy everyone. However, this role can be tiring, especially if the people involved are unwilling to listen or compromise. In personal relationships, conflict can be particularly difficult for INFJs. They take their relationships very seriously and want to maintain deep connections with those they care about. If an argument arises, they may feel hurt and take things personally, even if that was not the intention. They might also withdraw after a conflict, needing time alone to process their emotions before they can engage again. Another challenge is dealing with people who enjoy conflict or create drama. INFJs have little patience for unnecessary arguments or aggressive behavior. If someone constantly stirs up tension for no reason, an INFJ may decide to distance themselves rather than engage in ongoing negativity. They prefer environments where people communicate with kindness and respect. For those who interact with INFJs, it's important to approach conflicts gently. Instead of using harsh words or aggressive tones, a calm and understanding approach will make a huge difference. INFJs appreciate honest conversations, but they need to feel safe and respected during difficult discussions. At their core, INFJs want peace, not just for themselves, but for those around them. When they are in a harmonious environment, they feel free to be their true selves and focus on what truly matters. INFJs are deep thinkers compassionate souls, and rare individuals who bring warmth and insight to the world. However, because of their unique nature, they also face challenges that others might not fully understand. From their dislike of superficial conversations to their sensitivity to harsh criticism, INFJs navigate life with a strong emotional depth that can sometimes feel overwhelming. Understanding what INFJs detest isn't just about knowing their pet peeves, it's about appreciating their perspective. When you recognize their need for meaningful conversations, respect their emotions, and approach them with kindness, you create a space where they can truly thrive. If you're an INFJ, remember that your feelings are valid. It's okay to protect your energy and surround yourself with people who appreciate and respect you. And if you have an INFJ in your life, know that they are some of the most loyal, caring, and insightful people you will ever meet. By learning to support INFJs in the ways that matter most to them, we can create deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. And in the end, that's what INFJs value most: real, authentic connections with people who truly understand them.